There's a new top team in Major League Baseball as the Texas Rangers defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks 4-1 to win their first World Series. Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Will Duerksen, joined by Allie, Wenskoski, and Owen Cameros. The Rangers came from the AL Wildcard Series and did not lose a playoff game away from Arlington on their title run. Allie, what went right for Texas?
I mean, so many things came together for Texas to get that World Series win, and like you said, it was their first. I mean, they were just dominant throughout the whole World Series, and I mean, this has been years in the making. It's actually been 3 years. It went back to the COVID year where they were in the bottom of the barrel for years upon years, and GM Chris Young and President John Daniels got in a room, and just something had to change there. And one of the biggest things that changed was a 2021 acquisition of a few notable players. I mean, Corey Seager was in there, Marcus Simon, John Gray, players like that just make a team that keep going on and just get extra wins here and there, especially in the regular season, which really improve a team. And then this whole World Series, I mean, you said it, they went an 11-0 run on the road, which is impressive enough. Teams mostly went on the home field, and things just came together for them. Their pitching, the Diamondbacks didn't really put up much of a fight in the World Series, and they ultimately got the victory.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say about the Rangers is that Corey Seager in that Game 5, that's why they paid the big bucks, and that's why they brought him in, was for moments like that, to get that first hit and open the floodgates when it mattered most. But like the Rangers, the Diamondbacks also came from the Wild Card Series and beat the Phillies in the NLCS, but they came up short in 5 games when it mattered most. So, Owen, what went wrong for Arizona?
Yeah, so I'll say 3 things went wrong for Arizona. First off, they gave up big innings. That was a big thing. I'm going to list the 3 things first. They gave up big innings. They couldn't close out games. And then they were just terrible with runners in scoring position. So the first of all, it's very hard to, if you're not a big scoring team, and the Diamondbacks are a good team, they're not an insane scoring team. They don't score runs, that after that after that. They're not great like that. And if you give up 4-run, 5-run innings, it's very hard to come from behind. And the Diamondbacks, in these last 2 games, the 2 games that really mattered most for them, when their kind of backs were against the wall, they had 3 innings in those last 2 games where they gave up 4+ runs in an inning. The other thing with the Diamondbacks is when they were ahead, they struggled to keep leads, and they struggled to close out games. I look at Game 1, when Paul Sewald was pitching against Corey Seager with the 2-run lead and gave up that 2-run homer, and then Adolis Garcia hit that grand slam off of Miguel Castro. It's very hard. The World Series is 7 games. It is very hard to win the World Series if you're going to give up winnable games like that. If you're up 2 runs in the 9th inning, you need to be able to close that out. And Paul Sewald wasn't able to do that. Miguel Castro gave up that the walk-off home run in extra innings. It's very hard to do that. And then it's very hard to win games when you're doing that. And then in front, with runners in scoring position, the Diamondbacks hit .255. That's not terrible. Take away 1 game. The game when they won 9-1, scoring 9 runs. They were .181 with runners in scoring position. That's bad. That's bad for a regular team. That's terrible in the World Series, and it's just hard to score runs and win games if you're going to be hitting .181 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's a great point. I like how you brought up the bullpen and how that evolved as the series went on. Arizona's bullpen couldn't get it done. Texas bullpen maybe was the difference.
They were lights out.
Now that the World Series has concluded following the Rangers' victory, free agency has begun, and there are plenty of big names available. Allie, I'll go to you first here. Who are some free agents that might take a team to the World Series?
Yeah, so there are plenty of free agents on the block, some big names as well. And going to Japan, we have Yamamoto, who is just excellent on the mound. He hasn't pitched in the major leagues, but he has a 1.82 ERA with over 900 innings pitched, which is just absolutely incredible. And one of his biggest pitches is his splitter, which is not as commonly seen in major leagues and can really trip up some of the hitters. And then also we have Blake Snell on the Padres. He's up for free agency as well. Some people have him going to the Philadelphia Phillies, but he could end up anywhere. And he actually took a $50 million extension after winning the 2018 AL Cy Young. So he would have been up for free agency so much sooner, but now he finally is. And he's had some injuries, which make him some concern for some teams, but overall he's a good addition to any rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, a guy that I'll talk about is obviously, the big dog, the guy that everybody's after, everybody but probably the Oakland Athletics, who I don't think are going to pay for him. I'll talk about Shohei Ohtani. And the thing with Shohei Ohtani is it's a bit of an interesting situation. Maybe June, July, like around there, I think teams were legitimately going to pay out $550 million for him. $500 million, $550 million. Because let's be honest, he is the only two-way player in the MLB. Like he is a all-star pitcher and an all-star batter combined into one. He can hit like 60 home runs in a season. I mean, he was leading the MLB in home runs for a while pitching like a sub-3 ERA. The thing now with him is he's obviously out for a little while. He's not going to pitch until 2025. I'm not sure when he will return to batting. I know that he will bat in 2024. It might be from day one, but it might be later in the season. I don't know whether teams are going to pay $500 million for a player that, let's be honest, has had 2 UCL surgeries at this point. What do you guys think? Let's be honest. Like who do you think he could go to, and then what do you think the price tag will be on Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, I'm going to take this one first. I think he's either going to remain where he is with the Angels just because he's been there for so long. That's where he started in the MLB, or he could go to the Dodgers, but I definitely do not think that he's going to be worth $500 million. I could see around 3 or 400.
3 or 4? Yeah. What about you, Will? What do you think?
Ohtani, to me, is worth about $425 million. And that's assuming he can hit day one. And I think a team nobody's really talking about. We've seen him linked to the Angels. We've seen him linked to the Dodgers. We've seen him linked to the Mariners, which that would be a fun story, playing in the shadows of Ichiro, the most famous player ever in Major League Baseball from Japan. But the San Francisco Giants, quietly, they got Bob Melvin to come up from San Diego to manage this team. They have the money to do it. They almost spent $300-something million on Correa last offseason, but we all know that fell through. Mm-hmm. They have the money, and it would be a shock move, but don't count out the Giants in the Ohtani sweepstakes.
Yeah, so I saw an article on ESPN. I'll just quickly do my take. I saw an article. It was on CBS, not ESPN. It said that Ohtani, he's most likely to go to the Dodgers, Mets, Giants, Rangers, Cubs, and then Mariners at 6. Here's the thing with Ohtani. I think he's worth about $400 million. I think that he will be given so much more. I think he could still see a $550 million contract because I think an extra $100 million for some of these teams, for like a team like the Dodgers, maybe the Giants, maybe the Mets, who have boatloads of cash and like to spend it on players that are, have injury prone. I think teams like that will still give him $500 million just to beat out every other team. I think that he could still go for $500 million.
It's going to be a bidding war for Shohei Ohtani, and we might as well just auction him off. Rob Manfred should just go to an auction house in New York City where the MLB headquarters are, have representatives from all 30 teams, and just have an auction style for the guy because he's going to command so much money. It's going to be a move unlike any other, to paraphrase the great Jim Nantz. But while the Rangers sit on the MLB throne for now, offseason moves could shake up the league as Texas prepares to defend its title next year. Thank you for watching Penn State Sports Night. For Allie, Wenskoski and Owen Cameros, I'm Will Duerksen. Good night.
Thanks for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For more content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like, and follow our socials down below.
And as always, we are
Penn State Sports Night.